All right, call this meeting all set. Thank you. I'd like to call this meeting order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first, we got a little change in the agenda. It's not on there. It was a last-minute item. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it on as an addition, but Pauly has requested that Peter Fowler read a letter he has. They're just going to read the letter. There's going to be no questions and no comments. And that'll be it, and then we'll continue on with the regular agenda. When we start with the regular agenda, please, everyone comes through the chair. Please be respectful of other people talking, and because we got a lot to do after this reading, a lot of important items that have to be approved tonight affects the town's finances. So thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Board. To the Board of Selectmen, this letter is being read by Peter Farrell because of my disability due to having throat cancer. I have a doctor's letter confirming my disability. Thank you, Paul H. Constantino, Sr. I am writing this letter in layman's language. I, Paul H. Constantino, Sr., a lifelong resident of Templeton, have a simple request to the majority of the Board of Selectmen. I, Paul H. Constantino, Sr., will oversee an investigation day by day with an investigating authority at no charge for my services. Please don't forget, I, Paul H. Constantino, Sr., am making the allegations for the investigation from a state authority from outside of our town. To conducting this investigation of wrongdoings and conspiracy in my town of Templeton. I have in my possession and on paper each complaint and the names I am making the accusations about. In my opinion, these complaints will expose all involved in this power struggle in Templeton. These are just a few of my accusations. Conspiracy, collusion, misuse of municipal funds, overstepping one's authority, nepotism, lying to voters for monetary reasons, and accounting interference, allowing non-taxpayer, non-residents to speak at town meetings, obstruction of justice by our appointed and elected officials, and many other issues. I, Paul H. Cosentino, Sr., have spent countless hours and dollars researching these allegations that have cost us taxpayers thousands and thousands of dollars. Wrongdoings by our elected and appointed officials. So taxpayers like Charlie Perkins say, it's going on 50 years or more. I agree with Charlie Perkins, but I, Paul H. Constantino, Sr., can prove on paper that it's been going on for the last 10 years. I am not afraid of retribution by these wrongdoing people, and also many, many other taxpayers are not afraid of retribution. So let me, Paul H. Cosentino, Sr., be allowed to order an investigation. I was informed by our police chief, Dave Whitaker, and our new 50-day-old town coordinator, and Lieutenant Capps of the Athol State Police Barracks, that this is the procedure that I must go through to get an investigation done. Also, I must have a letter by the coordinator written up to have the majority of the selectmen sign so I can get a court order for this investigation. Signed, Paul H. Cosentino, Sr.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll leave it. In that room. Share it.
Okay. The first item on the agenda is from the town clerk. election constable. Dear Board of Selectmen, I hereby request that Eugene Dennis be appointed as an election constable until 6/30/2012. Anybody's ready? I'll accept the motion.
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Jeff?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
And yes.
This has to be signed just by him.
No, that's the clerk.
What we sent Board of Selectmen.
It says Board of Selectmen.
Okay, who will have signed?
Question right after.
Is Alan here? Thank you. Good evening. Fun seeing you here. Okay, the two Board of Selectmen from Tomb Restoration Committee, Tomb Restoration LPC, subject bid award dated February 3rd, 2012. Want to go over a synopsis here, what we're doing tonight? Alan?
Yeah, what I'd like to have you do is award the contract to Historic Gravestone Services, BC Monuments LLC. They were low bidder out of the 5 bids at $54,000 for 3 tombs and $2,000 per door for 9 doors, totaling a contract price of $72,000. The $72,000 is the grant award that the town got through Mass Historical. So we actually were able to get 9 doors in addition to the 3 tombs. We have to spend the total amount of the grant, which is $72,000. So I would like to make a motion to award that contract.
Somebody want ready to make a motion to that effect, and then we'll open up for discussion.
I'll make a motion that we award the tomb restoration contract to Historic Gravestone Services not to exceed $72,000.
Second?
Okay, a second. Any discussion? Anyone on the board have anything? Out the audience? Yes, Bob.
I thought at the last meeting you said that you were going to find a larger venue for this meeting.
Yeah.
For next week's meeting.
Next week we did. This was already, we had the 6:30 meeting for the budgets already posted prior to last week. So because this is so important, we felt we had to do this tonight rather than wait till the 12th.
But still, how can you, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I mean, you got 27 people standing in the hallway, you're not even providing chairs for them. You got people in here, you don't even have an adequate amount of space for the people who want to attend.
we need to address these items tonight. It's important that we address them. We did reserve Kiva for the next regular scheduled selectmen's meeting. We have to get through this tonight because it's important, several important items, this one being one.
Regardless of whether people can participate or not.
Here we go. Yes, Ray.
I don't want to address the here we go. What I want to say is this is posted as a public meeting. People have to be able to attend. The public is out there. You knew last week that this was an overflow audience. You cannot once be in violation of an open meeting law, which says it is open to the public to hear the discussion. We had banners all over, let the people speak. My point is let the people hear. And that's not available now.
Is there anybody in here now that has business later that could mind voluntarily going?
That's not how a public meeting works, but I thank you.
We did reserve the Kiva for the next regular meeting. We had the budget meetings tonight already scheduled.
Well, I understand the importance of business.
And we're trying to get, trying to get some contract and trying to get something temporarily in place for the treasurer's office.
I understand, But what I also understand is that you can't do something improper once, even. And
It wasn't
given the
our-
notice that you had last week, you can't do this business until the people have access.
It wasn't our intention to do that, Leanne.
Well, it's not a matter of intention, it's a matter of planning. When you have a public meeting, it says clearly in the law
We had,
that you plan for the capacity, Bob. This is the same thing you did last week. If you do it and get away with it, we can't let the people hear, never mind speak.
we did not know about that was gonna happen last week.
But
And
we
this
knew it
one-
last
and this
week.
one- Tonight,
It was
we,
already posted.
it was already posted. We didn't know that was gonna happen.
We have a 48, you have another notice, so I'm just here to say it is an overflow capacity. You have 27 people that I counted last
Well,
out there.
we need to get these items
And
addressed.
I want business in the town done, but what I want is I want business done properly. And that's what I want, and this is not it.
Okay, yes.
Mr. Chair, I can hear fine out here. Thank you very much for conducting the meeting tonight.
Hey, come on, no,
That's because he's 40 years younger than us.
My husband's deaf, he can't hear.
yes.
I would just like to say for the purpose of the taxpayers of the town of Templeton, that everybody should have the right, the opportunity to be able to sit in this room and discuss their business.
Yeah.
And I think the whole board ought to take that into consideration, not just one person. If we all have the right, we all pay our taxes, we all have a right to speak.
Yes, you
And
did.
it's not fair for the people out there to be able to stand out there and not being able to sit in here and be able to listen to this meeting and speak their piece. It's so, let me finish, please. It's so far out there and around the corner that people cannot hear everything. And I don't think it's fair for those people to leave their jobs early or to go home and not make supper for their children, to come to this meeting and be able to participate. So I think this board should ought to make another motion to adjourn this meeting till they get a bigger place for the capacity of the people. And that's my say.
If anybody has a problem hearing, all you have to do, if they want to speak, they just need to come to the door, get someone's attention.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You can't hear out there
Well,
because she's turned up.
The one way in the back, I think it's Eugene.
Yes. One of the things I'd like to take and point out is there's precedents already set in the town of Belchertown and Hatfield on open meetings. You are subjecting yourself individually to be sued because people cannot come in and be heard or hear by having this, continue to have this meeting. There was a judgment against each one of the board members for $7,500. If that's what you want to take and do is come out of your pocket, I say go ahead and continue to have the meeting, because that's what will happen to you. I hope you understand that.
Yes, we're just trying to get,
They also had very important things. In the town of Belchertown, they were talking about large sums of money that they were going to spend for the acquisition of some land in their town for town buildings. They went out, they stopped that meeting, they went out and they had an overflow crowd in their auditorium. They hired a tent with speakers so everyone could hear. I hope by doing this, you are going to irritate more and more people, and you are going to have more and more overflow crowds, even in larger venues. You also have buildings within this community, other than the Kiva, that this meeting could have had.
thank you. Officer Bennett is there.
I'm going home and file an intentional open meeting law violation against this board.
Officer Bennett, is the control room have the door open with the sound turned up?
Yes, it is.
Can people hear out there all right?
They're all cut and dry. I cannot speak for everybody.
I mean, I'm asking Is anybody having a problem out there?
I can't speak for if they have.
Thank you.
Obviously, whatever you, whatever.
We have to close the meeting.
All right, I'll accept the motion to...
I move to close the meeting.
Second. Before I say, our intention was to have the future meetings up to Kiva, but because this was so important, we felt, we already had the meeting at 6:30 with the budgets, so we felt it was necessary to do this. It wasn't, like I said, we're trying to do what's right. Meeting adjourned.
Sign